Would you like to say anything to the people?
Christopher?
Check.
Okay. Yeah, now it's working.
Christopher? So, you talked about how you had this idea for this podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. Yeah.
And you've been doing this for quite some time now,
You need to
on
speak
and off.
a little bit louder into the microphone.
On and off for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years now.
Well, no, not on and off. It's just like
well, you've had your
goal
breaks.
is the same.
Yeah,
I've had
and
some
it
breaks,
well, I have to be honest. So, I really wanted you to keep doing the podcast during your breaks because
I don't
hate-
have any friends.
I hate to expose you like this, but this is actually not a real podcast.
What
This
are you
is
talking
actually a
What
police
are you talking
recording.
about? This is a real podcast.
And we have everything that you said
No!
on recording.
no,
And we're turning it in to the
No!
police.
no. And we're back.
Yes, it has been 5.
You have to speak into the microphone.
I am.
Project your voice into the microphone.
It has been 5 years since Christopher was arrested.
I don't think
since
your
we
voice-
exposed him.
I don't think your voice carries as much as mine does.
You're a Curry.
The Curry voice travels.
They carry.
It goes.
Curry's carry.
We carry a lot.
Whoa, Derek's.
We carry a lot
are-
of
Whoa, so
trauma.
chill.
and ambition.
So do I.
Yes, I'm
I
not
just-
denying that.
I'm just quiet.
You're a quiet cat. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of The Gadfly and the People. I'm
What
joined
an-
today by my wife, Rhiannon.
What an interesting drama we
And
just had.
what would you like to? Is there anything you'd like to share with the people?
Share?
Or a question that you want to put to them, or a
Question?
thought that you've been having, a kind of a realization, an enlightened moment. Anything you'd like to share?
Well,
Well,
I have been slowly growing closer to different saints.
a lot of different things.
And it just got me thinking.
Like Blessed Yusto Takayama Ukon, no doubt.
No, not him.
But you should.
And I slowly
sorry.
but
Go
surely. It just got me thinking. I think God calls us in different ways. And we hear His voice, in a lot of different ways. Sorry, I don't know how to speak on a podcast. But I was
a lot of
kind
people do. Neither do I.
I've kind of been wondering, how does God use the saints to bring us closer to Him?
That's a good
or
question. Yeah.
to call us. I think it's so interesting. Saint Teresa of Lisieux, very popular modern day saint, and I actually didn't know much about her, but then I read her Wikipedia, and man, I
What
think
a
I
life.
speak for actually I think a lot of people because she's pretty relatable, but I have never related to her more. The way she speaks about her torment of her doubts about God,
Yeah.
the great agony she had when
yes.
her, I believe, 2 older sisters left for the Carmelite,
For the convent.
for the convent, Carmelite convent. She was very
Or it's
upset
a
that she,
monastery.
lost her family and that her sisters didn't wait for her.
What's the?
And she was so sad, to be without her family. And I feel that right now,
So what's
being
the
on
difference?
the opposite side of the state of my family.
What's the difference between a convent and a monastery?
I think the convents are for the ladies, and the monasteries are for.
No, because ladies go to monasteries as well.
Oh, I guess that shows you how.
A convent is based off the
Uneducated I
Latin
am.
word means to convene or gather. In the United States, many English-speaking countries use this term, typically exclusively when referring to the living quarters of an active women's religious order.
Oh, wait, what?
Historically,
No, I thought it was always for men. Oh, can you cut
Yeah.
that out because that's really embarrassing for
I
me.
didn't know this. I didn't know this either.
Promise?
Not a lot of people. It's like the difference
Do you
between.
promise?
I pinky promise. It's like the difference between like sisters and nuns. All nuns are sisters, but not all sisters are nuns.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay. I guess I feel a little bit better.
On the other
I
hand,
could have sworn the monasteries were for priests or
yeah,
brothers.
monastery is based off the Greek word that means to live alone and is normally applied to a building used by a religious order that is set apart from the rest of the world. So,
well, as far as I'm aware, she was trying to get into a convent, not a monastery.
So I don't want to use the AI Google overview.
Boo, AI, boo. But I'm a hypocrite when I say that.
A convent is
Yeah.
an enclosed community of monks, nuns, friars, or religious sisters.
I feel like I've been lied to.
We haven't been lied to. We just technically a monastery is a
Uneducated.
secluded community of monastics, whereas a friary is a convent, or a convent is a community of mendicants.
Is it just more popular for the sisters and nuns to go to
I don't think
convents
we
and the
have a
friars
very-
and the brothers and the priests to go to monasteries?
I don't think we have a very clear distinction here.
Oh, that's a pretty
so,
one.
our Sunday visitor
That's
says,
pretty.
monastery versus convent. Question: what is the difference between a monastery and a convent? This comes from Alan Eberly of Hague, North Dakota. Oh my gosh, North Dakota, Hague. Anyways, like many words, we can denote a strict sense and a more relaxed colloquial sense. We can also note the meaning of the words have changed a bit over time. The word monastery originally came from the Greek word monatzein, which means to live alone. In other words, in the earliest monastic days, monastics, both men and women, went to the desert to live a largely solitary life in separate dwellings. However, many of them in a local area came to share common buildings for prayer and eating. Over time, many came closer together and eventually were housed under one roof, though the monks and monastic sisters still tended to keep long hours of silence. Today, the word monastery has tended to be used only of communities of men, while communities of women have tended to have their dwelling denoted as a convent or cloister. But technically, there are women's communities whose domicile is most properly termed a monastery. The main difference that the term monastery...
Are you going to read this whole article?
No, because it's getting to the point here in a second. The main difference that the term monastery is meant to signify is that those who live there now live alone or apart from the everyday world. Their prayer is centered in the monastic community. Generally, too, their work or apostolate is also centered there. Convents and religious houses tend to house religious men and women who do not live and work in such isolation from the everyday life. So I think the monastery would probably be the better... No, I think you were right. Did you say monastery?
No, I swear she went to a convent. No, because she was...
Well, now we got to look up... Because they're cloistered. If they're cloistered there, it's got to be a monastery, right? St. Teresa of Lisieux. She's a Discalced Carmelite of the Mendicant order. They live in cloistered monasteries. So monastery is the more correct term.
The more you know.
The more you know.
To get back
to your point about the... I'm sorry about this, yes.
Curry.
Curry. Goody. Okay, back to St. Teresa of Lisieux. Tell us about why St. Teresa of Lisieux used to not be very relatable, and now she is.
I'm not saying that she wasn't relatable before. I just didn't know enough about her, and I felt a calling for a long time to get to know her, to pray her novena. I was like, what? Why?
Why?
Like, there's thousands upon thousands of saints. What's going on? Then I read about her, and today we're going to pray day 3
Yep.
of her novena.
Yeah.
And I get it. I can see how the Holy Spirit is moving. Do I feel everything? No, but faith is not about feelings, which I struggle with the most.
But it's nice to feel the fruits of your faith.
Sure is.
But that's not always going to happen.
Nope, not what it's about at all. Which is funny because she felt spiritual desolation.
She did,
and doubt for a lot of that later years,
especially
of her
towards
life,
the
right
especially
before
towards
death.
the end. Yeah, she had a real struggle. Would you ever want to read Story of a Soul with me? I've always avoided it.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, I've always
in her
avoided
Wikipedia.
it. I've always avoided it.
I should probably read that.
I avoid it because I think, from somebody who knows, again, so little about Saint Therese of Lisieux, I'm not a big fan of what seems to me to be soft, flowery, girly Christianity. I just don't think I'm going to get anything out of it.
I think you're going to be shocked when you read that it's not all soft, girly.
Well, no, that's the point. It's
rainbow unicorn religion.
I don't think that's what it is. I tend to.
I think she is one of the most kind, motherly figures.
So with respect to, you said earlier, one of the important things that we could do as Christians is to figure out. You were trying to figure out how does God use the saints to bring us closer to Him, right?
Yeah.
And what I guess I've always kind of understood is that God uses the saints to sort of give us not a template, not a copy and paste sort of say, and then we just fill in our things, but more so like it's the example, So find saints. So like my whole thought process has been I'm going to find saints who seemed to live lives with, in varying degrees, more or less similar and common problems, struggles. And so that's why I don't know how much I can relate to Saint Therese of Lisieux. But now you say that she struggles with her belief and spiritual desolation, and how does one remain faithful in that?
Is we are the age that she died.
Yeah, we're 23 and she died at 23.
24.
She died at
24. It was
Really?
24, but we're basically the same age.
Basically. I mean, from conception. But even then, from conception, she would have been...
Probably 25.
Probably 25, yeah. Well, hold on. Wait a second. She was born January 2nd, which is 9 months, a little over 9 months before... I guess like closer to 10 months before the 30th of September when she died at 24. So she would have been, what, 25? A little over 25 from conception to death?
Probably 25.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. So we're still a little bit, we have a couple more years if we're on the Saint Therese timeline before we kick the bucket.
No, not a couple years.
Like a year and a half.
Yeah, a year and a quarter.
Yeah, a year and a half, you can get a lot done.
Yeah.
What do you want to get done in the next year and a half?
Well, it's funny because both my goals are contradictory to each other. So my first goal is to save money so we can put a down payment on a condo or a house.
Yeah.
But one of Christopher's greatest family friends is getting married in Hawaii.
Hawaii, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I had no interest in going to Hawaii. I thought, why would I go to an overpriced state?
But then
But then I got invited to a wedding.
Yeah.
And then I saw the appeal.
Yep. Daiquiris on the beach.
Pina coladas.
Pina coladas, baby.
And people twirling fire. And there's coconuts.
Just also, the feeling of traveling the world. The appeal of that. Even though
And you don't need a passport.
you don't need you do need a passport to fly. Even though it's still in the United States. Yeah, so like any flight in the United States, you have to have a real ID.
Yeah, wouldn't that just be your driver's license?
No, your driver's license does not. You can get an upgraded or enhanced driver's license. Or you can just have.
I have only flown once.
Yeah.
And it was overseas.
It was awesome.
And I seriously thought you only needed your passport for overseas reasons.
Well, yeah.
Not in the United.
Yeah, I had this last summer. So I have a chauffeur's driver's license, which is not quite an enhanced one, apparently, but it has the same symbol as an enhanced driver's license, which is odd. So I didn't have my passport last year when I went to the conference down in New Orleans. And I had my light, but it wasn't working. So you're supposed to scan it, and it scans it, and you go through. But it wasn't working. So, yeah, it caused a bit of a problem at the airport.
Right. Wow. I'm getting so educated right now. Yeah. I do have to go.
Well, before you go, if you could just give a little word of wisdom or a hot take or something. What's your hot take that you've been just steaming?
What?
Boiling, ready to tell the people?
I have forgotten.
Maybe not a hot. It doesn't have to be a hot take. Do you want to? What's the best way to prepare chicken?
So you brine your chicken.
How do you do that?
So you take your chicken and you put it into a large bowl or bucket of lukewarm water and salt, and you let it sit in your refrigerator, depending on when you start prepping it, for a half hour to all day. So 6 hours, 8 hours, whenever you get home from work. This allows the chicken to stay very juicy. And yeah, I haven't really gone back since. What are you doing?
Just closing the pockets on this.
I've noticed my chicken is fuller, juicier, never dry.
Never dry.
Never dry.
We don't have dry chicken in this household.
No.
Unseasoned, maybe, but never dry.
That's not true.
No, we have good seasonings.
Yeah.
Yeah. We cultured.
Because before, I would pan fry my chicken, and that took forever, and that's how I would get my juicy chicken. I hated baking chicken because I would, make it dry, and I'm thinking,
baked chicken's not as good.
How can I, what am I doing wrong? And then I learned from a friend of mine that she brines her chicken. And I haven't gone back since because osmosis.
Okay, wonderful. We appreciate the lesson on why brining your chicken is so important. Again, just any last words before you go?
More?
It can be the last thing. Get me to a good 20 minutes. I'm at 19 minutes right now. Get me to 20.
I think goldfish is better than Cheez-Its.
That's a hot take.
Is it?
The Cheez-It community is big.
Well, I'm sorry. I mean, goldfish.
This is a debate amongst my sophomores.
Okay, first it comes in a very fun shape. Fish. Who doesn't love fish? Actually, I don't like fish. Actually.
Yeah, you hate fish.
But I like them as an animal. I don't like eating them.
But you'll eat goldfish.
Yes. So it's a very fun
cracker. So you just
cracker.
grab it right out of the tank and then you just.
So they can come in cute little milk cartons, medium milk cartons, or large. box containers.
So if Cheez-Its came in a milk carton, you'd be...
Now hold on. Do Cheez-Its have the fun shape of a fish?
They
No.
got some more flavors for Cheez-Its as well.
What?
There's more variety with Cheez-Its.
It's all cheese. It's all cheese. Goldfish, they have pretzels. You can get sweet ones like cinnamon. You can get
What?
extra cheddar, mild
What?
cheddar, or plain.
I didn't
You
even-
can get rainbow.
Yeah, but they're putting
So
something in
who-
those ones.
Who doesn't love
kick it.
those? Well,
So we're going to cut it off right there after
sorry, I
Rihanna-
said something controversial.
Something quite controversial that will...
And they're listening.
They're listening
They're
to all of us.
always listening.
They are. Anyways, there are some other things that I would like to discuss as I wrap things up. But I have a guest coming on the podcast on Saturday, and I have a little bit of reading to do. Actually, not a little bit, a lot of bit of reading to do that. And I have another guest that will be coming on in July, and I'm trying to find a couple more guests to fill out June. And we'll have a nice full summer of episodes. Got some street interviews that I've got planned. Questions to ask the people. And I bought, this is what's really cool. I bought 2 microphones. I bought 2 new microphones. And I really like them. Because previously, I had the microphone stand. And if I wanted to move, if I wanted to... I had to be very still, and this way I can be a little bit more moving. I can move around. I don't have to sit still. But I would want to know what the people think. What do the people think about this concept of facelessness that in the online world and in just the going to and fro of our day-to-day lives? Do you experience this same sort of phenomenon of facelessness? That we don't encounter people anymore. We no longer encounter individual persons with needs and desires. And what would that mean if we don't do that? I'm not saying that this is the case. But it's an idea, it's a question that I've had, and something I've been trying to think about, and something that I would like your help thinking about. So if you have anything to say about this concept of facelessness and the phenomenon of it in the world, in what you experience, I would like you to drop it down below in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe, like, give us a good old thumbs up on the podcast. We are moving. We are progressing. We are growing. And we are going to get to you, the people. But today I had to get to the most important person in my life, which was my wife, Rhiannon. So please take care. Have a good night. Enjoy yourselves. Live a good life and flourish. Bye-bye. Nora, are you there?
I am here. What's up, Christopher?
This is the Gadfly and the People podcast, and I was wondering
Oh
if we could ask you a question for the 2026 We the People Summer Series, and I have a question for you. Would you like to answer this question and be on the podcast?
Yeah, go for it, Christopher.
So the We the People Summer Series is all about trying to figure out what the people want, and I am calling my dear listeners, and I'm trying to ask them, what do the people want? So what do you think the people want?
Are there options or?
No, there are no options. This is
No, there's
completely.
no-
I mean, just think about your experience of the world around you. What do you think that people want? What do they desire?
Well, I know what I desire in my life.
Okay, what do you desire?
I desire like just true happiness, like doing the things that make me happy.
Ah,
So if you really want to want suggestions, maybe talk to people about what they're doing that makes them truly happy. Like, for example, like, I coach. That makes me happy.
And you coach volleyball.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I do. I coach volleyball. Yes, and that makes me so extremely happy. So do interviews or something where you come up with questions and have them answer, why do you do what you do, and why does it make you happy in life? Why does it fulfill you?
So what would you say? What would you say to somebody then who is doing the work? They are going about their day to day, and they're not happy. They would say that they're unfulfilled. What should they do?
I would say don't be afraid to take that first step into that fulfillment, into that happiness.
And what is that? What does that happiness look like, though? So I agree. I would agree with you. I think that it's happiness, but I'm too dumb to know what it is to be happy because I'm so unfulfilled.
Okay. If you want to take me, for example, or your brother, or Joseph. Like, Joseph took that step and joined the military.
He did it.
He did it. Like, it might have been scary at first, but it fulfilled his life to the point where, like, he's changed, I think, for the better. And if you take me, like, and my entire life experience with the sport that I've been in since I was a kid, which that's a whole other story, like, stepping into the coaching world was very scary. And I think to feel that fulfillment, that happiness, is stepping into that fear and coming out the other side successful.
What about those people who...
makes sense.
Well, okay, so I think there's definitely something to be said for... Yeah, like happiness requires risks to be taken and going and stepping into the unknown, you know? What about instances where people do that and it doesn't work out for them? They fail, and you know what are they to do then?
Keep trying. I failed at coaching. I took a step away from coaching for 2 years because I failed, because the fear took over. But because I kept trying, because I took that step again. Like, you have to keep going. It's kind of like taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back. You have to be okay with failing in order to succeed in the future.
I see. I understand. So failure is a kind of suffering, you would say, right?
Yeah.
So,
not suffering. I would say more of a learning experience. It's a very painful learning experience.
Well, yeah, but like when I say suffering, like suffering is just anything which causes pain, you know.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
you can experience kind of one of 2 pains when it comes to taking risks. You can either experience the pain of taking the risk and it being burdensome and painful and stressful, and you can go through that kind of suffering, or you can experience and suffer a different kind of pain, which is knowing that you could have taken a risk and you didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think personally, this is just my personal opinion, I would much rather feel the pain of knowing that I took that risk and I suffered, in your words, or failed, but knowing that I did it, instead of never trying.
So
I don't think anybody can be truly happy if they don't ever try.
So if anything is going to make us happy, you know, it's going to be a worthwhile endeavor, right?
Yes.
And all worthwhile endeavors are going to be harder than the ones that are not worthwhile, right?
Yes.
So, and if we're going to have to do the harder thing, the more challenging thing, that it would seem to me that we're going to have to suffer a little bit in doing that harder thing. In one capacity, this doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, physical or psychological, but it could be, you know, intellectual or spiritual. You know, there are different kinds of suffering. It could very well be physical suffering. I mean, you think about the Olympic athlete who has to suffer and run mile after mile and swim lap after lap and lift weight after weight and undergo that kind of actual physical burden that he or she puts on his body. And that's
I can also, I can agree with that. I mean, I just did a fitness challenge. I'm training for a 5K. Like, that sucks.
Oh, that's awesome.
That sucks. It hurts. It is painful on the body.
You're training for a 5K. Well, meanwhile, I'm training to last 5 minutes on the treadmill without just giving, losing hope.
Yeah, and it's pain, but like, you still do it. And I can't. I just ran a 5K at the zoo last month, and the feeling of crossing that finish line and receiving that medal, or just that feeling of doing it, is worth the entire painful process of training for it. So for like Olympic athletes, that feeling of training so hard, and for some even just getting there, is worth the entire process, that entire painful journey.
So what you're saying, it would seem to me, is that there's always going to be an element of suffering in the pursuit of happiness, but so long as we keep the goal or the end in mind, and even if it doesn't, work out exactly how we thought it was, or to the degree that we would hope, that there's a sort of reward in simply the suffering, sort of like like the suffering embraces in its own challenge kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I would say the pros outweigh the cons. Like, the end goal, the true happiness that you desire, should always outweigh the pain that you go through. And for me and my life, every painful experience I've had has always never outweighed the end result. And I would be very interested if you spoke to Joseph regarding his experiences too. That would be a very interesting conversation that I'd want to listen to.
Well, I just got a second microphone, so now I'm going to be able to have guests on the podcast and stop having to call people on, just do phone calls to get people on the podcast. But I would love to sit down with my brother and we can talk about his experience over on the other side of the world and tell us a little bit about what the people want, because I think he'll have a unique perspective on that. So
I think so too. And if you ever need new guests, I'll make the drive. I don't care.
Listen, I'm back in town. I'm back in town in Grand Rapids fairly often this summer, so we'll set something up and we can sit down for an hour or two and we can have a good long conversation about God knows whatever, So.
Hi, this is Jonathan Jensen. If you could please leave your name and number, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Johnny boy, this is the Gadfly and the People, and we are calling to ask you an important question. Please call back. If the people do not pick up, how am I supposed to figure out?
Please leave your message.
Damn it, Peter.
6162.
Nobody wants to pick up. Let's try some more people. Who do I want to call? No. Dude, that would be a good one. I don't know him well enough. Let's try Michael. Give Michael a call.
Hey, this is Michael.
Damn it, Michael. Right to voicemail? The man blocked me. Sawyer might be interesting. I'd give Brad a call.
Christopher.
Braden Roth, welcome to the Gadfly and the People podcast. Do you consent to being on the Gadfly and the People podcast?
I'm a little busy.
You're a little busy.
I dare say I am.
You got what?
I'm busy with video games.
You're busy with video games.
You betcha.
Well, what are you playing? What are you playing on the video games?
God of War.
God of War.
That's it.
Well, that's wonderful. I do have one question. If you would like to answer one question, and then I'll let you go.
Okay.
The question is, and this is for the Gadfly and the People 2026 Summer Series, We the People Summer Series. We're answering the question, what do the people want? And I am calling some of the people in this episode, and I'm asking them over the phone, what do the people want?
The people want novels and fiction.
That's it.
Novels and fiction.
Good novels, good fiction, bad fiction? Do the people want,
English novels.
they want English novels? They want Oliver Twist and Charles Dickens and...
Dickens is good. Waugh. Evelyn.
I don't know. Waugh Eveland.
Evelyn Waugh, author of Brideshead.
Oh, I've never read it.
Oh, it's a great book.
Well, I'll give it a read. Hopefully not this summer, but next summer.
Well, I'll lend you my copy.
Well, I appreciate that. Well, anyways, have fun on the God of War. Besides fiction and novels, it seems that the people also want the God of War video games. Is that right?
Well, it is a good video game. It won many awards, I think.
Well, have fun with that. We'll talk to you later. I'll see you, buddy.
All right, see ya, Chris.
Bye.
Peace.
Interesting call there for Brad. It's about what I expected, in all honesty. All right, who else can I call? Record? No. Let's see. I called Brennan last time. Give Maycroft a try? Let's call Maycroft. I don't know if he'll pick up, in all honesty. We haven't gotten a lot. It's 9:30, in fairness. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get...
Telephone number
Damn it, Nick.
2317.
We keep moving. Who else do we have here? No, I don't want to bother him. Call Laura. Let's give Laura a cry. Forget to put it on speaker.
Hi, Chris. What's up?
Laura Kruger, this is the Gadfly and the People podcast, and I'm calling to ask you an important question.
Okay.
Do you consent to being on the podcast and being recorded?
Yes.
If I say anything or you say anything that you would like to cut, I will cut it. Okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
Wonderful. So, this summer, the Gadfly and the People is going to the people. We are going to the people, and we are asking an important question. Would you like to know what that question is?
I would love to know what that question is. I'm chomping at the bit for it.
Well, that was the question.
Oh, okay.
No, the question... I'm sorry, that was a bad joke. The question is, what do the people want?
What do the people want?
What do the people want?
You want my opinion on what the people want?
I want to hear what you think the people want.
I think the people want truth.
Why truth? Why not rather untruth?
Well, can anyone say they want untruth? I don't know if I've ever heard a person say that they want untruth.
Have you seen The Matrix?
I have seen The Matrix.
And that seems to be a central plot, in a central theme in the plot. That there are people who want the truth and people who don't want the truth.
Well, okay, then let me rephrase that. I guess that's... People may say that they want untruth, but what are they looking for? They're actually looking for a good. They're looking for satisfaction.
So people want the good.
Yes.
And they want the good, whether that comes through truth. But if the good comes through untruth, is that possible?
A good through untruth.
Think, for example, about when your parents tell you that Santa brought you gifts. There was a romantic, beautiful good that was that you associated with Christmas. Of course, you associated with the birth of our Lord, but also there's a kind of romantic, beautiful quality that one reminisces about and nostalgically looks back to, about Santa coming down the chimney and everybody's Christmas presents being out in the morning. But that was an untruth, no?
Well, I mean, the person of Santa Claus, yes, that was an untruth, but I think there was a higher meaning behind it.
So there was a higher truth behind this sort of... The Santa truth, the Santa untruth is trying to convey a meta-truth, is what you're saying.
Yes, and for a child, that makes it more approachable.
So what is that meta-truth that we all nostalgically look back and try to remember, that we see through the person of Santa Claus? The fictitious person, that is.
Right. Well, I mean, I think it goes back to people want the good, and that meta-truth is the good. Now, it's that nostalgia is an approach to the good. Of course, we all look back. We love the community. We love feeling the love from our parents and receiving gifts from them or from Santa Claus. I feel like, though, some children realize early on, oh, how does Santa know me so much? Well, I think they make the connection that it's their parents expressing love because their parents know them and they know what they desire and have expressed, a like for or a love for even.
So the good is the fulfillment of our desires.
Well, yes, I would ask you to define desire. What is our ultimate desire?
Well, I don't know. You said it first when you were talking about the kids have desires and the parents understand the desires and Santa understands their desires. So what do the kids desire? What do the people desire? What do the people want?
Well, I think we can still go back with the people want truth. The people want good. Well, the people want the beautiful. I think you may know where I'm going with this with the transcendentals. Ultimately,
I do not know what the transcendentals are. I am not a well-educated man.
The gadfly does not know the transcendentals?
The gadfly is simply here to ask questions, Laura.
Okay, Mr. Gadfly. Is that what I shall call you, Mr.
That
Gadfly?
is, I am the gadfly. I have no other name or other alias that you should address me by.
Okay, Mr. Gadfly. Well, I think the people are desiring the good. The people want the good. The people want the true, and the people want the beautiful.
But if we said the good is that which fulfills the people's desires, what is it that fulfills the people's desires?
Well, I believe it is Christ.
Why not $1 million?
Because that's not what the human person was created for.
But with $1 million, you can buy a lot of things that we need, right?
That's true.
The human person was made to live in a house, yes?
They're meant to have things that
There are
are
certain
treating them according to their dignity.
there are certain
and all-
material provisions that everybody needs, right?
Yes.
And $1 million would afford everybody the necessary baseline material provisions. Wouldn't you say?
I would agree with that, yes.
So why don't we just take $1 million from all of the rich people and from the government and then redistribute it to the people who don't have $1 million so that they can have their material baseline provisions met?
Well, I
That
mean,
would
Stu and
fulfill
I
that
have
would
this
fulfill the
before.
desires of people, and that's good, right?
Not all desires are good.
Ah, not all desires are good.
No.
So people have bad desires.
Oh, yes.
Can you name some bad desires that people would have?
Lust, anger, murder.
What
You know,
is
the
what is
desire-
what is the desire in lust? Let's talk about
The
that one.
desire. Well, the desire and lust is for pleasure.
Yeah, but I don't lust after wine. But wine
Okay,
pleases me.
Right. Well, you actually can say that you lust after wine. That is a common phrase. But taking what I think you are trying to approach with lust, it is, a search for sexual pleasure.
Ah, so we're distinguishing between kinds of pleasures now.
Yes.
Okay? So how does one have a desire for sexual pleasure without, well, first let's define lust, cuz what is lust?
Well, I think it's a disordered desire for sexual pleasure.
A disordered desire.
Yes.
Well, how can one have a disordered desire? And what would be a disordered desire? Like, I want to eat a sheet cake. Is that disordered?
That is.
Why?
Well, because it's not good for you in the sense that it's not going to fuel your body well. It is not going to fulfill the use that food is for you as a person.
So you're saying that I have a desire to use things or to consume things in a way which is fulfilling.
Yes, fulfilling. I would ask you, fulfilling what?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. Like, what is it that the people want to be fulfilled? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so sorry. This is way too much fun. I just keep going in circles.
No, this is lovely.
All right,
I
I
do
think
feel
we
like I'm being tested.
I think I'll take it a different direction. So,
Okay.
the people want their desires fulfilled. And they all have different kinds of desires, right? So we've set that they have sort of some baseline material provisions that need to be met. And we've said that there are some animalistic, sensitive pleasures that need to be met. Okay. But then we can do all of this in a disordered way. How do we develop these disordered desires? And how do we know whether our desires are disordered or not?
Well, I think for your first question, I think we develop them through not being educated.
Aha.
And there are different ways. So, you can be ignorant and just have, no way of coming out of that ignorance. Okay, well, then you don't have a fault there. If you do have a way of coming out of that ignorance and coming to know, then, okay, you do have a way to understand why those desires are disordered, or the approach you are using to fulfill those desires is disordered.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm game for that.
Okay.
So how do we
And I mean,
determine? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, remind me of your second question.
The second question. So the first question was, because I have to retrace where I was. The first question was, where do our disordered desires come from? And the second question was, how do we know if our desires are disordered? Or if they're good desires. So how do we know whether we have good or disordered desires?
Well, I mean, I think it needs to be through research and through an approach of understanding what our desires are.
So if my doctor tells me my desire is, if he tells me I desire to lose 20 pounds, because he's done the research and I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Is he right?
Is he right in saying that your desire is to lose 20 pounds?
I don't know. You talked about so we have to research whether our desires are good or not.
Well, you have to go through a process of, let's say, defining what it is or understanding. Research might not be the correct word. I'm struggling for a term that I want to use. You have to some process of observing or, I mean, really dissecting.
So we need to dissect. So we need to dissect first. So I think we can. Are you saying that we need to dissect a few things here? There's a few things that we need to dissect. So principally, what we need to dissect, right? It would seem to be is first off what it is that we're desiring, like the object of our desire, and then the subject of our desire, which is ourselves. So we can dissect ourselves from and look at the desires in themselves, right?
Yes.
And then in looking at after dissecting both of those, after dissecting the subject from the object, so to speak, we can then look at said subject and object in themselves, and then we can dissect the subject and the object even further, right? So now instead of looking at the object of my desire in relation to me, I can look at the object of my desire in itself, and I can see all of the different facets and qualities of it. And then, after I've done that, I can kind of put a pin in all of that, and then I can dissect myself, and then I can kind of figure out all of those different facets and qualities and characteristics and things about me that are important in this, and then I can know myself a little bit better, right?
Right. I mean, I think to summarize what you said, you need to know the end to what your action is ordered towards.
Yeah. So
and that's how you know if it's a good or a bad. If it's achieving that end, then you would say that, okay, it's fitting to achieving that end and is good.
But
if it's not achieving that end, then it would not be fitting and not good.
By isolating myself from my desires, or from the things that I desire, from isolating myself from those things, how and then dissecting both myself and the things themselves which I desire, how do I come to know the end which I desire? So let's run through the whole reflection on the self. We've dissected. We'll put aside what the object of desire is. Insert X for object of desire, and we will assume that we've dissected and figured out all that it is to know about it. Now let's take a look at ourselves. Let's take a look at you and me and all of our friends, the people.
Mm-hmm.
Let's dissect the people. Okay, go ahead. Dissect them.
Dissect the people?
Yeah.
In what sense?
Like, go out and just tell me about the people. Tell me about people.
Okay. Well.
All right.
People are composed of a body and a soul.
All right.
That soul is tripartite.
Yep.
We have, as humans, as rational beings, we have that reason, we have that intellect, and are therefore made in imago Dei. Then, of course, we also have our appetitive and vegetative parts of our soul, just as the animals do, and then, of course, underneath them, for just vegetative, the plants. That's kind of what I would say the composite of the person is.
So we have three. We have three, kind of distinct characteristics and qualities about ourselves. We have a baseline nutritive quality which we share with the plants and the more simple organisms out in the world, and then we have sensitive characteristics, qualities, which allow us to move and locomote and be attracted to and repulsed by things, and which can gauge external stimuli through sense organs. And then we have a third characteristic quality, which is reason, and that allows us to not just know things, but also know them in themselves and the cause of things as well. And we can know things with necessity, and that's important. So we have all of these. How then do we know whether what we desire is fulfilling of these characteristics?
Well,
have I jumped too far ahead? Do I need to jump back a little bit?
I think you want to jump back a little bit and discuss how these characteristics can be fulfilled.
Well, I don't know how they can be fulfilled. I'm asking.
Well,
I'm asking you.
Right, in the sense that, are you asking what it means to have a balanced soul?
Well, I don't know. I'm just. You're the one that's claiming this tripartite soul thing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Mr. Gasline. Let me see what I can do here.
I'm so sorry.
Why are you laughing?
Because this is too fun.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I feel like I'm being tested. This is good.
No, you're not being tested. I'm dicking around with a microphone, and yeah.
And yeah.
So Lori, when Socrates goes all about Athens and he's asking people questions and he clearly knows the answer to them, he's just kind of being sarcastic and passive aggressive in the way that he's going about the questioning.
Oh, is that what's going on?
That's
here?
pretty much what yeah, that's what I'm doing here.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, isn't it cool? Is it fun to do that?
It is very fun to do it. Sometimes it's a little bit nerve-wracking to be under the gun of it, though.
Yeah, it is. No, it definitely is, and it's fun to put the people under the gun, especially as the interviewer, because then you just, as soon as you get, put forth a question that you don't know the answer to, it's like, wow, I don't know, I'm just the interviewer. Yeah, I'm asking you the questions.
How am I supposed to know the answer to that?
No, I like well, this is exactly what Socrates would do. He would sort of like jump on people unsolicitedly and start asking them questions. And so that's what I'm.
These are the dialogues right here.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm doing at 9:30, or at close to 10 o'clock on a Monday night. But I won't press you any further. But I like your initial definition that people desire the true, the good, and the beautiful. This is a good definition to me. But my plan this summer is to figure out, well, what is that true, good, and beautiful that people want in 2026, and we're trying to figure that out. I'm gonna have Annie on the podcast this weekend, and I would like to have you on the podcast later this summer, if that's cool.
I would love that. Yes.
Sweet. Are you gonna be around Grand Rapids this weekend?
Yes, I am.
All right,
you?
cool. Annie and I, I'm coming to town. Annie and I will record a cool podcast, and we'll have you sort of sit in on maybe add to discussion or something like that. I think I'll have another microphone around here somewhere.
Yeah, I would love that. Question on that. 'Cause
Yeah.
This weekend.
Yeah.
Wait, you're doing Doc's Nick McKean ethics course, right?
Yeah, I have to sign up for it. I haven't done it yet.
Oh,
Is-
I think they're still signing up, but the first lecture is this weekend at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can make that work.
Yeah, just want to make you aware of that.
All right, I appreciate that.
plans.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And also pulled a little bit of what I said from the syllabus. So
Awesome,
Give it a read.
dude. Yeah, that's kind of the point. I'm excited. I like doing these summer classes with Doc because it's kind of a cool way to test my chops a little bit against some smarter, wiser people. And
yes,
see if I can
totally understand that.
see if I can roll with these pimps.
Right? Let's see if we can roll.
See if we can roll. Anyways, I don't want to keep you, and my wife is telling me I need to shut up. So I'm going to let you go now. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gadfly.
Thank you for being on the Gadfly and the People podcast. We will talk to you soon, Laura.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, that was a wonderful and riveting conversation with our good friend Laura, friend of the podcast, friend of the people, friend of the Gadfly. And we are happy to have her, and she gave us a good, I think, working definition. But that was one answer. We had one person tonight tell us that what people want is happiness, which is, again, a fair definition, a fair answer to the question. But what is it that makes people happy? Well, in that discussion, we talked about how suffering is a key element to what makes people happy. And with our good friend Laura, she put forth to us that the good, the true, and the beautiful, these are what people want. Well, what is that true, good, and beautiful that all people desire? This will be our subject of discussion this Saturday with Annie in Grand Rapids. Thank you for listening to the Gadfly and the People podcast. We the People, summer series. What do the people want? God bless. I love you. I miss you. I want you. I need you.